Hi, I'm Tera Erway, filling in for Jessica Lahr, who is representing New York State in the Mrs. America pageant in Las Vegas. And this is a look at what's happening in the Finger Lakes for the rest of the first official weekend of autumn. What a perfect week of weather for late September. The weekend should bring more of the same right through into next week. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be mostly sunny with daytime highs in the mid-70s, accompanied by comfortable sleeping conditions overnight throughout the weekend with lows in the lower 50s. You won't find a much better outlook for the first weekend of fall here in the Finger Lakes, and there is no shortage of things to do. One of the most famous annual local festivals will take place this weekend in southwestern Ontario County. The 54th Naples Grape Festival is being held Saturday and Sunday to celebrate the season's grape harvest. Talented artisans, winemakers, and regional music and cuisine. For more information check out naplesgrapefest.com. And if you go, be sure to bring home a delicious grape pie. The Chris Robinson Brotherhood is playing at the Smith Opera House in Geneva on Friday night at 8. The band, which features the former frontman for the Black Crowes, has been praised by Rolling Stones as quirky, trippy, soulful, and downright magnetic. Tickets for the show are $25 in advance and $30 at the door. The Finger Lakes Boating Museum in Hammondsport is celebrating the first anniversary of its grand opening with a full day of events on Saturday and Sunday. Live music will be playing throughout the weekend, while hardware sales, auctions, book signings, a barbecue, several wine and beer tastings, and a treasure hunt for the kids. Learn more at flbm.org. The Rose Hill Mansion in Geneva will be hosting a food and wine celebration on Saturday from 5 to 7. Just as the sun is setting over Seneca Lake, you will be able to enjoy the taste of autumn with hors d'oeuvres and local wines. Tickets for the evening are $30 per person and are currently available at the Geneva Historical Society office. The first Grains and Plains weekend on the farm, sponsored by Seneca County Farm Bureau, will be held both Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5 at the Meadville Pumpkin Patch in Seneca Falls. This free event will have fun, food, and education for the whole family, including model drones, Seneca County root beer floats, and 4-H activities. On Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Geneva Historical Society and the Founders Square Neighborhood Association will dedicate a new historic marker at Geneva's oldest existing cemetery. Established in 1832 by the Village of Geneva, the cemetery originally stood on the edge of town. And if you don't feel like cooking on Sunday after a long weekend of yard work, great pies, and wine, the Trinity Episcopal Church in Seneca Falls is offering a ham dinner with mashed potatoes, corn casserole, and a pumpkin pie cake on Sunday at 5 o'clock. All are welcome for this free community meal. Week 4 of the local high school football season kicks off on Friday night. Penn Yan will be at Waterloo. Geneva will visit Paul Mack. E.R. Gananda is at Wayne Lyons. Will be in Gorham to face Marcus Whitman. Mid-Lakes will face Minders in Seneca Falls. South Seneca is at Clyde Savannah. Canandaigua is on the road to face Hanoi Falls Lima, and Victor will host Webster Schroeder. Dundee will host undefeated Red Jacket on Saturday afternoon. Also on Saturday afternoon, the 3-0 Syracuse Orange football team will host the top 10 ranked LSU Tigers for a noon kickoff in the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. The game will be televised nationally on ESPN. NFL Sunday Football heads into Week 3, and entries to our annual NFL Pick'em contest sponsored by Ticino's Restaurant in Waterloo and Geneva and Finger Lakes Partners Insurance are open through kickoff on Sunday. Pick 10 of Sunday's games every week for a chance to win a large cheese pizza. The Buffalo Bills will hit the road for the first time this season as they head to Miami to face AFC East rival Miami. The game is set for a 4:25 p.m. kickoff. We'll have all the results and analysis at our sports page or on the fingerlakes1.com app. I'll be back in less than 60 seconds with our top 5 local photos of the week and this week's highlights from Finger Lakes 1 TV.
So many sights to see on the internet, but for everything local, there's no place you can get it. At fingerlakes1.com. Come on over to fingerlakes1.com. Make us your homepage. News, weather, sports, and fun. Log on to Finger Lakes 1.
Local news from over 40 sources, custom local weather, over 10 hours of live broadcasts and podcasts every week on your computer, tablet, television, or smartphone. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
www.
www.fingerlakes1.com.
This week we feature local photos from the last week of summer 2015. Here are our staff picks for the top 5. Coming in at number 5, a beautiful full rainbow seen in Oaks Corners on Saturday evening as seen by Lori Abram. In the 4th spot, Rachel Burkholder was up early as the sun tried to shine through the fog on Monday morning near Fayette. Number 3, it's been the summer of beautiful sunsets. This one snuck up on Shelley Lannon on Monday night on Taylor Road in Clifton Springs. At number 2, Bruce Downey sent in this gorgeous shot of Monday night's sunset over Senegal Lake in Geneva. And finally, check out our photo of the week, an amazing capture from Indian Pines by Jeremy Henrys of the channel flowing into Keuka Lake in Penyan on Monday afternoon. You can check out all these photos and many more and learn how to share your own local photos with our users here at fingerlakes1.com by visiting our local photos page on our homepage or app. Next, a look at what's playing in local theaters. Ben Whitaker, a retired widower in his 70s, played by Robert De Niro, answers an advertisement seeking senior interns at a Brooklyn startup and soon finds himself in the middle of a hurricane created by young company chief Jules Austin in The Intern, which opens on Friday night and is showing at the Geneva Movieplex, the Auburn Movieplex 10, Canandaigua Theaters, and Eastview Mall. Also playing locally this weekend is Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials, the new suspense thriller The Perfect Guy, Black Mass, which is the story of former mobster James Whitey Bulger, Hotel Transylvania 2, War Room, Everest, and The Visit are also showing. For a rundown of all the movies playing this weekend, along with showtimes at theaters close to you, click on Movie Times at our homepage or on the fingerlakes1.com app. If you missed it on fingerlakes1.tv this week, on Monday morning, Joe Spazzato was in studio as a guest on Weber this week to talk about the Waterloo Athletics Hall of Fame's class of 2015 inductees.
Joe Spazzato's our guest. Hey, by the way, Joe, let's get to talking about the kids, then we'll take our break. It's only 20 off. Let's talk about this year's class. Why don't you run down briefly on each of them and tell us a little bit about each of them?
Well, first I'm going to say that the induction ceremony is October 10th at Abigail's.
Okay.
6 o'clock for cocktails, 7 o'clock for the dinner and presentations. You can get tickets. They're $30 each, and you can get them at the Waterloo Senior High School main office or by getting a hold of myself or Tim Lincoln.
Okay.
The first one is Tim Booth.
Oh, Timmy.
1999. Now, Tim was actually named to be inducted in the last class, but he lives out in California, and it was at the time of year, every year and a half we do this. So it goes May and then in October. And in May, Tim has his own lacrosse school, and he's promoting the sport of lacrosse in the state of California quite well. So we delayed his induction until this fall, so we're looking forward to him. Tim was a all-star in football for us and in lacrosse, and he's even more remembered for how he excelled in football at Hobart and at lacrosse. He was a two-sport college athlete playing Division III football and Division I lacrosse at Hobart. He played 10 years of professional lacrosse, and he's out in the San Francisco area now promoting it, so we're looking forward to seeing Tim back.
That's awesome.
The next one is Jeff Ike.
I know Jeff, yep.
Class of 1992, and Jeff was our athlete of the year that year. He was a three-sport athlete at Waterloo. Played for me for 3 years at varsity basketball. We had 3 really great years. Went on to play college football at Ithaca College. And he is currently, he had coached varsity basketball at Manlius Pebble Hill for 3 years. And I'm really excited for him because Jeff has been named the new varsity basketball coach at Jamesville DeWitt High School.
Gee, yeah.
So
the biggest job you can get around here in high school basketball.
He will be coaching the Bayheim boys and the Autry's son, and
nice.
He is. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those games. He's also the defensive coordinator in the lacrosse program there, so we're looking forward to see Jeff. Aaron Dinan, class of 1999, was an outstanding cross-country runner and track and field at Waterloo. She went on to run 4 years at Cortland State. She was a 6-time SUNYAC track and field medalist. She is currently the head cross-country and assistant track and field coach at Ithaca College. So Erin will be back.
great.
Then our coach contributor will be David Milliman. David, who was an outstanding golfer in his own right, began the Waterloo golf program.
Okay.
In 1982, he coached it for 20 years. He won over 150 matches. His kids, he had many of them, continue to play golf professionally. He was also known as a good athlete at Waterloo in the basketball and baseball squads of the 60s, and was a starter on the team that won the sectionals in the 62-63 season. So we're looking forward to that. So those are those four. And then we have a team, the undefeated cross-country team of 1973, which is Jimmy Benedict's, Bill Quackenbush, Ronnie Stewart, Bob Barzinski, Jim Mayer, Lenny Church, Rich Cristiano, Dave Cristiano, Don Korleski, Bonnie Garrett, Doug Daffler, Bill Segrist, Steve Dressing, Vic Montag, and Ed Kinney. And their coach, believe it or not, 42 years ago, Edward Courtney.
Ed Courtney.
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
as he
that's great.
still is the cross-country coach at Waterloo.
That's pretty amazing.
So, as long as we don't let Ed run overtime speaking, we'll be okay that night. I mean, this one could go to the next morning.
Well,
On
not
Tuesday
as bad
morning,
as
Kenny
Cutts
Haas
Place.
discussed Pope Francis on the day before he began his visit to the United States.
And I do want to talk about His Holiness the Pope coming here to the United States. You know, it is such a big event, especially when the most influential religious leader in the world comes to the United States of America. It doesn't happen too often. And I mean, it'll be something to see what Pope Francis has to say before Congress. He'll meet with President Obama. He'll go to several cities: New York, Philadelphia, D.C. It's going to be some event. And I'm thinking, you know, he's so far shown he's the people's Pope. He's a person of commoners. I mean, he seems to reject all the things that's afforded to the Pope for the simple things. Plus, he likes to go into the crowd to greet people. This guy has been a breath of fresh air in the 2 years he's been the Pope, and I'm hopeful that he can turn the way Catholicism has been in the United States around. Because, you know, Catholics going to Mass has been on the decline. Churches have had to consolidate or close, and it is especially troubling for this Catholic right here. I'm hopeful that his trip here to the United States can help mend fences and turn people on to saying that it's okay to go to church again, it's okay to believe in your faith. Pope Francis, I'm anxious to hear what you have to say, and let's hope it's a great visit. But I also
On
do
Monday
wanna
night's
go
Finger Lakes
switch
Golfer
gears from
podcast, a review of the golf courses and amenities at Turning Stone Resort and Casino.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I like Duno is my favorite course. Shenandoah is not too far behind. I'm just amazed that you can go play a course like Shenandoah, which is in just immaculate shape from tee to green, and then you go to Duno and it's just so
better.
much better condition wise. And I also like the layout of Duno, memorable holes, but very playable. You know, I don't think any of us played quite as well as we'd hoped, but I had good stretches and bad stretches, but I think that you can score, and I think if you play those courses a few more times, you become more familiar with them, you might be able to put together a decent round, because fairly wide fairways, fairly big greens, you know,
Yep.
fairway green 2-putt type of deal, right?
18th hole was awesome. I mean,
At a Duno.
yeah, that drive where you kind of don't, it's kind of a blind drive.
Right.
Over, try and get it over that bunker on the left, but then the next 2 shots into that green up on the hill, that big bunker on the right in front there.
Yeah.
You can see it right there. I was in it. It was right there.
I was in it too. I tell you, for the start of
I missed
the
a
day,
5-foot birdie putt. No, it went nowhere near the bunker. but I did miss a 5-foot birdie putt
Right,
on that
yeah.
particular hole. And that was,
Yeah.
and some of our compadres who had already finished by the time I was done were out on the deck there watching us come in, and it actually kind of looked like that. It was late in the day. The sun was kind of setting.
Yep.
It's almost like they took that at our round.
They may have.
Great clubhouse too. The service, everything, from all three courses. Great service from pro shop staff to the bar room, grill room staff and bag staff. Everybody was really dialed in and had us all organized. The pro Red took care of us.
Yeah, Eric Lorenzetti, the head pro over there, had been on the show, a good friend of ours. So when we come up, he'd make sure everybody treats us great. And we had printed scorecards, a printed scoreboard, and his staff ready to, cater to our every whim, you might say. So the nice deal they have up there, it's a 36-hole replay rate. So you play 18 holes at full price, and then the next 18's half price.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
And what we did, and what they allow you to do, is we played, like, Eduño costs twice as much normally as the other courses for
Right.
greens fee. So we played that second round, and you still get the half price discount, even though you played, one of the lesser price courses, like Shenandoah 110,
Something like
100,
that.
120, 110.
Yeah, I think so.
Eduño, I think, is 220. So expensive, no doubt, but it's an experience.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Well, not to mention we make a little tournament out of it, so
Yeah.
everybody's.
We treat ourselves.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going over an hour drive, you got to play 36 no matter what you're doing.
That's true.
The
Yeah.
fact that they have 3 courses to pick from, Calumet's a pretty hard course. It's very tight. I remember playing. I've only played that one once. And
Yeah,
that
that's why we chose not to play it. It's more
that
difficult.
one could have made for a long day for everybody.
Yes.
But if you're going to do a replay, and you can play a Tuño and pick one of those two. One thing, Galuya gets, I think, a little less play than Shenandoah does. I think Shenandoah is kind of the popular choice for.
That's a great fun
the
course.
everyday golfer,
Yeah.
to try their skills at. Galuya, it's a little more higher, or I should say lesser handicap, higher playing type of track.
It's more of a target golf type of situation, I think, and if you don't hit the target, you're into a lot of trouble there. A lot more trouble than the other courses, a lot tighter.
Yeah.
Great course, though. They held the New York State Men's Am there this year, so, a lot of options there. And they even have a couple other courses there. They have an 18-hole course that's more of a municipal style, lesser price, and they also have a par 3. So, when we get there, the day was just breaking, and we get our bags loaded up on the cart, and we head over to the range. And you want to talk about nice, practice range. This was at Shenandoah. Shenandoah and Galuya are at the same location. Eduño down the road about 2-3 miles. So the range at Shenandoah is shared with Galuya, and what a range it was. I mean, you go there, they have alignment sticks at every station.
Yeah, that was nice. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, and then they got nice little mini golf bags filled with great quality range balls. A nice wooden racks for your clubs, and even little touches that you don't see a lot of places. Like when we got done with our round at Shenandoah, they had a station with an air
the air
compressor
for your shoes,
so you can blow out the bottom of your spikes. Most places just have brushes that it turns on. They have compressed air.
It's prime time when they have an air compressor for your shoes. Yeah, they give you the divot repair tools, the yardage book, all that stuff.
You get in the cart at Eduño, and you have towels in the carts. They have a cooler filled with ice and stocked with 2 bottles of water on the side of the cart.
Yeah.
And they don't want you to replace your divots there. They want you to fill them in with the sand that they provide.
Yeah. Right.
And one of the most difficult things I find when playing over there, which I've played Shenandoah 5 or 6 times, Eduño, this was my 3rd time, I think, is I have trouble hitting down at the ball and going after it. I mean, the fairways are perfect.
You don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
And I think subconsciously you don't, but it's the perfect condition every time. Just go take a nice PGA Tour style divot on every iron shot. And I'd struggled with my driver heading in, and I found that my driver was great because there's a lot of margin for error. So I was in great shape on almost every hole that week or that day. It seemed like a week. It was a long day.
It was a long day for sure.
But I was, hitting my iron shots thin and hitting bad wedges, so that's what was kind of frustrating to me. But the back nine at Aduño on Friday, we probably made the turn around 4:30ish, 4 o'clock, and played that back nine as the sun was kind of starting to set, and it was just gorgeous. It was a really hot day, and it had cooled down a little by then. And Bob, you were in my group at Shenandoah, and Bob was in my group at Aduño, and that back nine was just unbelievable. It's like a dream
nice.
Looking back at it.
Yeah, it was very nice.
And Rhett and I were repping the cricket shirts. They actually favorited our tweet.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he had the white, I had the blue.
You got to do it. You gotta
Team
do it.
cricket.
No doubt. they were pumped.
So yeah, we played good. Rhett, I think out of the three of us, Rhett might have been the medalist. If you're going stroke play, or did we tie? Did you and I tie?
I think we tied. And
Bob was disqualified automatically because of the hat he was wearing.
I like my hat.
I wasn't going to say anything, Bob, but I went to ask the guy for the range was, and it was you. I was going to. You look like one of the attendants there. With that
It
hat.
wasn't this hat.
It's a good looking hat, though. I mean,
I like everybody's liked my hat except for Jim.
I just got to be honest. I don't think it's the look for him. I think it adds a few years.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so anyways, highly recommended. 5 stars out of 5. Thanks, Derek Lorenzetti and his staff, for a great day. We'll be back next September.
Absolutely.
And,
Check out all of this week's episodes at
you can't be
fingerlakes1.tv or on the Finger Lakes One TV tab on our app. All of our audio programming is also streaming in rotation on Finger Lakes One Radio. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Finger Lakes Weekly. For FingerLakes1.com, I'm Tera Erway. Enjoy your first weekend of autumn in the Finger Lakes.